Okay, yeah, it's a Ouija board video, but one that's slightly different to others that you might have seen because uh, I'm just getting a little tired, a little tired of having to reiterate the same kind of things to you people because I get these inquiries coming through. You'd have thought that the person who made this one particular inquiry would probably have seen some of my other videos on the subjects. Now, the main complaint here, and it does appear to be something which feels like a complaint in some respects, is that the Ouija board doesn't work. To which I'd have to say, are you surprised? I mean, it's a board, okay, a rectangular piece of cardboard. Some people are inquiring saying that I put my planchette on the board and nothing happens. Alright, let's see if I can get it in camera shot. That's a planchette, it's just a piece of wood. That's it. Okay? It's got a little hole for the, to do the indicating, but that's it. Now, if you think that by placing a piece of wood upon a piece of cardboard is going to miraculously make some kind of poltergeist activity happen, stop taking the acid. Just give up the LSD, man. It's not doing your brain any good, not doing your reasoning ability any good. Now other people are saying, I put my fingers on the planchette and nothing happens. Well, okay, so I put my fingers on the planchette and hey presto, nothing is also happening. Maybe there's a connection there. Alright, because what this is a tool for you to try and get a particular natural phenomena occurring. And that is something approaching or using the ideomotor effects, okay, as well as other forms of effect and influence. To train yourself to use one of these so you can actually get some messages being spelled out takes a bit of time, energy and practice. Alright? You'd need to be a good meditator and you'd have to be skilled at practicing with the board. So your mind and your body, your muscle memory, knows the positions of all the letters on whichever type or style of talking board, because it's called a talking board, not a Ouija board. The word Ouija is a trade name, okay, associated with whichever one you've got. And yes, you can make your own. Alright, there's no bar to that happening at all, and it's quite a creative, artistic process, and some people do that for fun and for a hobby. So once you've either got or you've made yourself a board, what you do is you get your mind and your body used to the action. You find yourself a nice comfortable position to do it in. I often prefer to do this at a table, which is okay. You can sometimes rest your elbows on a surface. If I'm doing it cross-legged like this, I sometimes rest my elbows upon my knees, which is more convenient, but also I allow myself the freedom to be able to lift them up so that the planchette can move basically quite freely. It's good if you can polish and buff the surface of the board as well to make sure that the planchette can slide about with great ease. That's something else to bear in mind. Now, one of the first things you need to do is to practice for months, okay? And during that time, you spell out messages, okay? Let's say T, H, E, Q, U, I, C, K, the quick. I could do the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. That would use all the letters of the alphabet. And I might practice doing that every single night for maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. The longer I do it, the more my brain will adjust to where the positions of the letters are, and I'll get into the hang of doing that. You might want to have the TV going in the background or the radio going in the background and just casually do your shopping list, okay? So you can say S, I, X, E, G, G, S, A, N, D, 1, P, I, N, T, O, F, M, I, L, 6 eggs, and a pint of milk. And just carry on practicing it. Do it slowly. Become aware of your body when you're doing this, and keep it up, you know, every single day for a couple of months. The longer you do it, the better it is, okay? And the other thing you need to do is to practice meditation, because when you're using this thing properly, you're in a slightly meditative state of mind, which feels a combination between like a prayerful state of mind and a meditative state of mind. And it is therefore, we could say, probably, you know, an altered state of consciousness in some mild way, but it's a mild one. Also think about sense of perception and where you're focusing your attention. If you're thinking, I was given this analogy many years ago when I was doing the psychic fairs, try and think outwardly, which I think is a very bad use of language, but is a very good way of expressing the state of mind which it seems like you need to have when you're using one of these things, because you're trying to become sensitive to something outside of yourself. Now, if you're using your spirit board, Ouija board, or talking board, or whatever you want to, you know, name it as, and you're doing it after having done, let's say, a lot of heavy ritual, or you're in a place which is reputed to have, you know, a scary story about someone who's hung themselves in it before, you will be more prone, your mind will be focusing in on that particular concept or that particular entity, be it real or imagined. Obviously, we don't know whether any form of spirit exists, okay? You can't, I mean, some people say to me in messages like, well, if you've experienced it, you would know that it is real. Well, no, if you've experienced it, you've just had a strange experience, okay? That's all we can say. Alright, the strange experiences mean something, but what they precisely mean, we don't know. Basically, we don't know. So once you've done many months worth of your, you know, the equivalent of handwriting practice, and you've done many months worth of practicing meditation and, you know, trying to change and adjust bit by bit and in your own way your sense of awareness, you can then try and do a invocation of a specific spiritual being or an alleged spiritual being with full knowledge that it could well be something from your own mind. Alright, if it's not something directly from your own mind, then maybe there is the possibility that some of the messages you're seemingly getting coming out on the board are coming from outside of yourself. This is a hypothetical, and it remains so no matter what. I mean no matter what. It remains a hypothetical, not an actual, not a fact. Alright, so the different aspects of the entire subject involve having a design you feel comfortable with, thinking about the positions of the letters, how clear the indicator is at distinguishing between the various different letters that you're placing the indicator or the planchette over, okay? The handwriting practice aspect when you're deliberately just like spelling stuff out, alright, whatever. And then of course the meditation component, which is connected to the actual exercise of spiritualism itself. Alright, now spiritualism does not presuppose that the spirits exist, although some people do presuppose that spirits exist. But I would say there's more questions than answers. Why? Because I'm an intelligent person who understands a little bit about what scientific thinking is. Okay? Alright, I understand a little bit about how you can reason, how you can think, and how you can learn. One thing I'm not prepared to do is to lie to you and say, oh yes, you are definitely contacting your ghost, and I know because I'm the great and powerful Nick Dutch. Because that's just, that's a smoke and mirrors tactic, okay? That's bullshit. Whenever you got someone out there who says they 100% know, then essentially they are more likely to be lying than telling the truth. Now, once you've gone through all the training that you can, you then sit down and you give it a go. Alright, you actually give it a go. And you move into your meditative state of mind using any words which are appropriate considering the culture of the Ouija or talking board, such as, is there anybody there? Okay, and all that kind of stuff. Or in fact, you can just do some standard calling out to say, you know, spirits who used to live in this place, come alive. I wish to summon you tonight. I invoke your presence in the name of whoever, you know, and just go for it that way. Build it up slowly, just like you would any other form of occult ritual, any other form of spell casting, until such time as, you know, you're mentally, you know, in the zone, and then, you know, you'll start to feel the planchette wants to move. Now, essentially, it can be just like little minuscule movements of your fingers, and your mind will be telling you it's moving by itself. Alright, but in fact it might not, you know, it could still be movements of your fingers, ideomotor effects. Okay, I don't believe it's poltergeist activity. I don't think the planchette moves by itself. I haven't yet witnessed that, although, you know, some people say that, you know, that does happen. And the other way of doing it is, if you have not fully trained yourself up on the ideomotor effect, is to literally push it around. Because you enter into a different state of mind for that particular type of operation, in which you feel that the planchette itself wants to move in a certain direction. You feel, oh, it seems to want to go that way a little, then that way, then that way, then that way. Where's it taking me? I don't know. But you've got to be so honest with yourself when you're doing that, because you can easily like hoodwink yourself into thinking that something's happening when it isn't, and so on and so forth. So challenging yourself is really, really important, really. And challenging what you think is occurring there, being self-skeptical and being self-honest with yourself. Alright, but that is a different type of operation. So that's the other effect. Okay, it's not the ideomotor effect, it's more a psychological effect, and trying to work out where it thinks it wants to go. A good seance can last a long time. Sometimes they can be quite short, maybe just like 15 or 20 minutes. Sometimes they can go on for an awful lot longer. There's nothing wrong with taking a break. Your arms will get tired because you're holding them, you know, steady. So you might have to let them rest for a moment prior to getting back to the work, and so on and so forth. Because it's you know, it's a practice, trial and error thing. And yes, you are using your eyes, because if it is the ideomotor effect that's doing it, then essentially your eyes are the feedback, okay, or part of the feedback loop that provides the information as to where the planchette should be going, taking into account your peripheral vision, your awareness of the positions of all the letters, your awareness of the positions of all the numbers, the yes, the no, the goodbye, the hello, or any other words you've got. And of course, you know, a talking board doesn't have to have letters of the alphabet on it. If you're someone who's more interested in tarot, you could have the major arcana sprayed out, okay, along there. Or you can have the letters of the runic alphabet, the major futhark maybe, in a position of the standard, you know, Western alphabet that we have here. Okay, so that's essentially my views on the talking board. You can say whatever you want, but on my channel, I basically come out with my views based upon damn near 4 decades worth of strange experiences. And also being able to think and choosing not to be a religious dogmatic lunatic. Now, I've experienced everything from ritual magic, invocation, demonology, spell casting, manifestation to near physical, you know, appearance. I've done astral projection experiences. I've had dream telepathy with people. Basically, you know, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Seriously, all right, you know. They've demonstrated to me that some strange experiences occur. There is no conclusive proof either way of the objective existence of spirit beings. Alright, there isn't any. There is personal experiential evidence for personal experiences. And stimulating the research and the understanding and all the rest of it is part of what this channel has been about since its inception. Because if anything happens in the natural world, it has to be natural. And therefore, I would like, at some stage in the future, some well-minded, you know, broad-minded scientist to actually get the heck on to doing research into the strange things that I've experienced. Alright. There we go. I'm sorry if this has come out a bit like a bit of a rant, but on the other hand, I just feel like I'm, trying to get people to actually think intelligently about this subject can be quite disheartening at times.